WK Reviews, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't get to this review earlier. Sorry, Graboid. It took a while, and I probably should have done it last week, but I had a whole bunch of stuff to do, and not to mention the Thanksgiving holidays. But now that it's, winter, I think I have time to do it. Oh, and by the way, since it is December right now, Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas to everybody who's watching this. Now, last time in my introduction, I said I was going to review Dennis the Menace and Dennis the Menace Strikes Back. I am going to do that, but so far, I haven't been able to, watch Dennis the Menace Strikes Back yet. Now, there's not as much pictures on this review because, my computer froze up and stuff, got pizza rolls in the microwave. Anyway, that's basically it. My computer froze, there was stuff to do and other things, some of my pictures wouldn't, some of my pictures I wanted to get off the internet wouldn't save to my Logitech camera file, and, well, I just hope you enjoy it. Dennis the Menace is a very good family film. Hold on. Let those cool down. Anyway, Dennis the Menace was a very good film when I first saw it. Now, when I was a little bit younger, I saw bits and pieces of the movie, but I never really noticed how funny it actually was till I saw it myself. What's it about? Well, it's about two main people. Dennis, of course, and Mr. Wilson. And this is actually pretty funny. Now, throughout the movie, Dennis really thinks Mr. Wilson is his friend. Mr. Wilson thinks Dennis is a menace, which came up with the title in the first place. That was originally a comic strip, then a show. Now, throughout the movie, it's kind of kid stuff. Like in the beginning, Mr. Wilson's pretending to sleep, and Dennis the Menace thinks he's sick, so he fires an Advil down his throat with a slingshot, and it was actually pretty funny when I first saw it. Mr. Wilson keeps hating Dennis all the time, and he thinks he's doing this bad stuff on purpose when Dennis just tries to do the right thing but ends up screwing up. Now, during this time, there's all sorts of gags, like when Mr. Wilson's two front denture teeth are replaced with this candy, when Dennis accidentally, uses the vacuum cleaner to launch a whole blob of paint up in the air, and it actually fell onto Mr. Wilson's grill and made his steaks, painty. Now, otherwise, Dennis and Mr. Wilson live in a good neighborhood where nothing bad happens. However, there's this thief running loose, don't really know the name, and he's stealing and robbing everybody's houses. So it's kind of strange, alright? Next thing I have to say is this. Mr. Wilson just, hates him, but his parents are trying to find him a babysitter that won't quit on him. Now, Dennis is a good kid and all, but then Mr. Wilson was asked to keep Dennis in his house for the weekend. Mr. Wilson's wife didn't have any problem with it. Mr. Wilson, however, had a big problem with it. Dennis was all over the place and stuff, and, well, here's how it resulted. In one part, he put mouthwash in his nose spray, and he put toilet cleaner in his mouthwash, which made Mr. Wilson kind of mad. Now, one day, Dennis and Mr. Wilson were inside because it was raining, and then Dennis figured out Mr. Wilson's safe full of gold coins was behind these books. And Mr. Wilson was having this big garden nerd party or whatever, and at the same time, there was this special plan or whatever that was very special, and it was on only one time occasion, and it was really weird. However, the thief was running loose, and once, Dennis and Mr. Wilson were outside for the party, the thief broke in. Dennis went inside because Mr. Wilson told him to after Dennis made the table fall over full of the food and stuff. And once he saw the safe open, he came out and screamed, and everybody was looking towards him right when that special flower bloomed, and then it died. Mr. Wilson, missed the occasion, so he told Dennis to get lost. This made Dennis sad, and then the thief actually ran into Dennis, and then that's where the funny stuff starts. First of all, Dennis doesn't know that he's being kidnapped. He just thinks it's like a camping trip or something. The whole neighborhood's looking for him, and Wilson is actually kind of sorry. So what we have next, the thief is kind of hurt a whole bunch of times. Like, Dennis showed him how to tie him up so he wouldn't move, and then he accidentally lost the thief's knife. And then one time Dennis actually made him force him to eat his baked beans that were too much, and he said, "You gotta eat your dinner," and it was actually pretty funny at the end. But the most funny part is when he's on fire and he jumps into the lake and he hits a car that's sunken into the little stream. However, Mr. Wilson is still looking and he can't find him. Dennis figures out he's a robber and then he runs away. Then Mr. Wilson finds him, and the robber is, really hurt badly because of what Dennis did. Then in the end, Mr. Wilson becomes friends with Dennis, and it's a big happy ending. See part 2 for the next one.